What's up, everybody? Jeff C here, doing another quick book review. I am not walking today because, well, we got some pretty dark clouds overhead. Looks like it's gonna rain, so I don't want to get my equipment wet and soaked out on the path, but I'm gonna do a little indoor bike ride, so still gonna get some exercise. The book I'm going to be reviewing today is Run by Blake Crouch. You may know Dark Matter or Recursion, which is some of Blake's more recent publishings. Run was published in 2011, I believe. I think that for me, the thing that happened for me is I read Recursion first. That's the first Blake Crouch I've ever read. This is his most recent work. And I'm starting to see that perhaps, which is a good thing you would expect for Blake to becoming better at writing the more he does it. I have not read Dark Matter, which gets high reviews in the booktube space. However, I do see people saying that they prefer Recursion to Dark Matter. What I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to read the inside cover blurb from this book. So, 5 days ago, a spate of bizarre murders swept the country. 4 days ago, the murders increased tenfold. 3 days ago, the president addressed the nation and begged for calm and peace. 2 days ago, the killers began to mobilize. Yesterday, all the power went out. And tonight, they're reading out the names of those to be killed on the airwaves, and they've just read yours. You only have time to run. Now, having read Recursion, when I read that blurb, initially I was like, oh man, that's really crazy, especially knowing what I know that Blake Crouch is capable of as an author. I do feel like, and also like, you see some of the other little, on the back, you got the little shout outs. I mean, Andy Weir, imaginative, perfectly paced and extremely clever, walks the fine line between page-turning thriller and smart sci-fi. Another killer read from Blake. I don't necessarily think that it's super clever. There is a cleverness about the premise. There is a science fiction aspect to the story, but it's very short-lived. I mean, most of the book involves this family running for their life, which, awesome. I don't necessarily feel like the scientific aspect of the whole equation was really dealt with, and it certainly was not highly addressed or explained at the end of the book. I don't know, I mean, I think the book was good, it was decent, but it's just, for what it was sold as, nah. You know, like when you watch a trailer of a movie, you're like, man, this looks really good, and then you watch the movie, and you're like, the best parts about the movie were in the trailer. Kind of where I feel like this went. So it's kind of a weird phenomenon for me, at least as a newer reader. Like, with Blake Crouch's work, does he actually get better and better as each one goes, which is cool. I mean, I like that. I do want to read Dark Matter, and I will, but it's just kind of, there's that part of loving reading is like, you kind of question, like, should I start at the early stuff? Because it can only, you would think that even within the genres, like, the works get better as time goes by because we're able to build upon the works of those who come before us. Like, if you want to get into fantasy, should you read Tolkien first? That way, if you start off and you read some crazy, if you read the which I haven't read any of the George R.R. Martin stuff. I haven't read any of the, I haven't read a lot of Brandon Sanderson, but it's like, should you read Lord of the Rings first? For me, I'm going to say yeah. And so with Blake Crouch's work, I would say if you haven't read anything of his, maybe start at the earlier works and work your way up. You're only, so far for me, it's only going to get better as you keep going, which is cool. And again, I don't want it to seem like I think Run is not a good book. It's good. It's just I had, in my own mind, had hyped it up so much. And then I was just like, hey, okay. I guess there is something to the kind of going in blind aspect of books, like if you just read a little bit about it and then just say, okay, don't watch any reviews or stuff, which I hadn't watched any reviews of this book prior to reading it. I did give this book 3.25 stars. So again, for me, if I give it a 3-star rating, even 3 flat, to me, that's like, I liked it. It was entertaining. And this book is entertaining, and I do recommend you should read it. I think especially if you're a younger reader, this is really good. But yeah, I mean, we own Dark Matter, so I'll read that also at some point, but I'm trying to space out my Blake Crouch stuff because I know there's a limited catalog of his work. So yeah, I just wanted to do a quick review. And, maybe I'll start doing like monthly wrap-ups. We're in June right now. I didn't do a May wrap-up, but this is all still kind of new to me. So the book I'm reading right now is really good, so I'll keep going with that. And that's the thing, is actually like, man, the first while of this, Here Goes the Rain, the first 50 pages of this book were like intense. Like I even went to my book club meeting and I was like, guys, I started this book. We were discussing a different book, but I was bragging. I was like, man, I'm starting this book and it's insane. Because it does start off insane and then it just kind of mellows out. And I did think about that. I was like, okay, maybe if this happened in the real world, and you're one of the people who survived the whole ordeal, that would be kind of a timeline of how things would play out. Like, everything's going nuts. Oh, you're fighting for your life. You're running. You're having to fight people. You're having to face adversity. And then things settle. And maybe you have to lay low for a bit. Then you're able to move without being seen. And then you have to get food. And then maybe you run across a band of, people with bad intentions. So you have to deal with that. Until you're finally able to make it to a sustainable peace. And now we have full on rain. So, yeah, again, I'm glad I just decided to wait because I know how this is. So, decent book. Check it out. I'm not going to tell anybody don't waste your time with it. But, I don't know. Yeah, so that's Run by Blake Crouch. I'd love to talk with you guys and get your opinions down in the comments about if you've read Run by Blake Crouch, what you thought of it. I'd love to interact with you on Goodreads or Fable. So please follow me on there, Jeff C. Based in Books. And please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys soon. I have a pretty good series I'm thinking about doing. I'm working on doing. That'll be a once-a-month series regarding a certain type of book. So, yeah, I look forward to that. And, I'm also on a little health journey, doing a sugar diet right now. And so that's going great. I do updates on that every Saturday. So please feel free to follow me there or follow me for that here. I'm not separating my channels. So yeah, with that, I will see you guys soon. This is just a quick little review of that book. And then, like I said, the book I'm reading now, I'm already about 60% done, and it's very cool, very awesome. I'm loving it. So I will do a review of that next week. So yeah, thank you guys for hanging out. And I got over 100 subscribers, so that's cool. Right, into the triple digits. So we'll keep going. And who knows? We'll see what else, what other type of videos I can muster up. So thank you guys. See you soon. Peace.